She found the lion behind the witch's manor, locked up in a rusty old cage. It was small and he barely had room to turn around. His leg was clamped with a large iron manacle. When she approached, he raised his massive head. "Who's there?" quivered the lion. "Show yourself," he said with not much force. Dorothy marveled at how his eyes seemed to glow in the moonlight. He's so beautiful, she thought. She stepped into a patch of moonlight and he saw her clearly. You're that human girl from the village." "Actually, I'm from Kansas," she said playfully. The lion seemed wary of the girl. "Never heard of it." Dorothy looked a touch sad for a moment. "No one has, it seems." "I'm Dorothy, by the way. What's your name?" She was so close to the cage now she could see how nervous the lion was. "Please go, little Dorothy. It is not safe here. My mistress does not like intruders on her grounds." He made a shooing motion with a large paw. Dorothy smiled. "I'm not scared of a witch. What's your name?" "Go now, please." He looked all around as if expecting the witch to come out of the darkness at any moment. His tail twitched wildly. "What's your name?" she repeated, still smiling. He sighed. "I don't have a name. If I did, I've long since forgotten it." "Oh, that's horrible," exclaimed the little girl. "No name." The lion did not meet her eyes. "Well, just one. My mistress calls me the Cowardly Lion. I'm afraid it's a fitting name." "I'm sure it's not. You're quite scary." "Please don't mock me," he said. "Mock you? At risk of having my head bitten off? Look at the size of your mouth. I could fit my whole body in there." She was very close now and she saw tiny little scars crisscrossing his face. Faded after many years, but his face would never fully heal them away. "My mouth? Full of all those fangs. They're the size of my arm. And oh, look at your claws. You could shred me in half." She reached through the cage and touched his paw. He immediately shrank back from her, but Dorothy yelped and jumped back. "Please don't hurt me, I'm sorry." She had her arms up, as if to protect herself. The lion looked amazed. "You're scared of me?" "Of course I am. You're a lion and I'm just a human. You eat my kind." "I don't." "Well, your buddies do." "They do?" "I've never seen it personally, but I've also never met a lion before. To think, little old me talking with a king. Now I know you're making fun of me," he almost sobbed. "I'm no king." "Nuh-uh," she said. "Where I'm from, I've read about lions. You're the king of the jungle." "King? I don't think I've ever been in a jungle." "Not important. I read that a lion is a king wherever he goes. He is king as far as his eyes can see. That is his kingdom." The lion waved at the rusty cage around him. "Some kingdom, Dorothy of Kansas. Why don't you break out? I think you could bust this cage open pretty easily," she said, peering at the rusted lock. "You don't know my mistress. She would find me, and she would hurt me." He looked right at Dorothy, his eyes watering. "She scares me." Dorothy looked right back at him, and he could almost sense a fire in the girl. "She's just a human. A dumb old witch maybe, but still human." "No," he said, shaking his head. "She's more than that." Dorothy picked up Toto and started to walk away. She looked at the lion one last time and said, "So are you." Then she disappeared back into the night. And then Dorothy returned on the second night, once upon a time.